Now, pretty much all of the bikes in my humble collection are one from every 10-year period roughly, and I'm trying to preserve, in this way, preserve a small piece of motorcycling history that I lived through these times, and in my memory they're still alive in my garage. And every time I can keep one of these alive and show it to people that maybe have never seen them in real life or ridden them, or they're not aware of how cool some of these older bikes were, hey, that's my goal. Boy, this time of the year, I don't want to lose a single riding day. We wait all year, literally all year, for these 3 or 4 months when it's just perfect for riding. The scenery is perfect, the weather's perfect, and there's just nothing to describe this time of year in northern New Jersey and southern New York. So when I started my bike, I seriously started collecting the motorcycles that are in my humble collection. I really was fussy about the ones I wanted to collect. I knew ahead of time the bikes that appealed to me over the years, the GS for instance, and this one in particular, that I had really lusted for during times of my life when I didn't have a lot of spendable cash and I was working my way up the food chain and whatever, putting kids through college and whatever that money went to, I don't know. A lot of salami sandwiches. And my fish pond. I got to get this all done before I go out on a ride, because once I'm done with the chores, then I just daydream. I'm on the ride and I'm thinking, well, in this case, I think back to days when I'd see these bikes on a dealer's showroom and I couldn't afford one, and well, now I got one in my garage and I'm going to ride it today. And Karen and I are doing the same thing with the garden. Every year we add plants, we add flowers. She's very excited about the way the garden, I am too. Garden's coming out great this year. And I know Guy's growing his tomatoes. They're probably all, they're a foot high already. We are all in this together with the flowers and the plants, and oh, every day it's just nice. But when all the chores are done, the last thing, get out on the open road and let's go. Now, almost all of my friends collect motorcycles, and they each have a different objective when they collect them. Some people are collecting a certain brand or a certain type or style or whatever. Some have an eclectic collection, some very expensive, some inexpensive. My collection is very humble and it suits my needs. These are the bikes all through this collection that I have really lusted for and wished I could own, and now at this point in my life, the ones I really wanted over the years, I pretty much have them all. And then you throw in a few modern ones like the R1 and the MT-09, and that collection is just, every day my life is a little bit different than the day before. Now, I'm not a motorcycle historian like Dale is, or some other people that know all the ins and outs and models and years and go back to when Indians and things were in style. But these are the bikes that through my lifetime, and I'm 78 years old, going to be 79 soon, all through that time, I was looking at magazines and saying, oh, I wish I had one of these. Oh, I wish I had one of those. Oh, yeah, and maybe I'll get that when the kids get out of college, or maybe I'll get a second job, and this and that, and oh, yeah. But at this point in my life, to pretty much have them all in my collection, it's like a little miracle. And all of the bikes in my collection are affordable. They're not exotic. They're not too rare that they're worth oodles and oodles of money. But all of them took a place in my life long ago. One thing about the bikes in my collection, I want to ride them. I don't have them to just take up space in the garage or just wax them and look at them or whatever. They are made to be ridden. I ride them all. I ride the wheels off them when I can, and I try to over maintain them, of course. And because pretty much I've done either partial restoration or total restoration, or customize all of them, I think it's safe to say that it's kind of a unique, one-of-a-kind collection. And the most important thing, it works for me. My GS always reminds me of the old days when drag racing was king. This is the time when motorcycle development, they started becoming real fared sport bikes. And for every person I know, they have a different interest. I know, like Turbo Steve likes turbo bikes. Thomas Luciano likes turbo bikes. Some people they collect old Indians or Harleys or whatever. And some people have a collection of all the bikes they wish they could have owned throughout their lifetime. And that's about what my collection represents, is these are the bikes that if I could go back and relive my life over, I would have had them, and I would have had them all the day they were brand new. And it seems like every time I'm out on the open road and all the chores are done, I just daydream my day away. I love being out on the open road 3-4 hours a day. I love the scenery this time of year. It's a wonderful place to ride. And this era of bike, and Ray had one of these, Luciano had one, a lot of my friends had one when they were new. And of course sold them, and I've had the opposite thing. I didn't have them when they were new, and when I got them I did a total restoration on them, but it doesn't really matter because in the end, at the very end, I have them. There's some kind of a famous saying in baseball, nobody keeps score at the bottom of the 8th inning. They want to know what the score is in the bottom of the 9th. And right now my life is in the bottom of the 9th, and I do have them all. In this particular bike, there's so many things to like. The nimble handling of that 16-inch wheel. The suspension is wonderful. It's a comfortable bike. It's very comfortable. The radar detector, having that. A comfortable seat, and of course the Muzzy muffler. Without the Muzzy muffler, not so sure I'd be so passionate about riding this bike. But that combination of things makes for a very, very wonderful day. And these are small little details that I never try to forget them. The bike is good on gas. It gets wonderful mileage. It isn't a gas hog. It doesn't start making you look for a gas station soon in the middle of a ride. The brakes are way better than I ever thought they would be when I got the bike. I love the styling, and I know not everybody does. But there's so many things about the bike, all little things, but the sum total is this is a bike that I call a keeper. This is a bike I want to have in my collection until the day I die. And what a wonderful day this turned out to be. It was cloudy all day, but it's time to get back to the farm and see how Karen is doing and the baby bunny. Every time I do ride the bike, I really always think about the little piece of history we're saving and keeping some of these older bikes in nice condition so people, younger people that have never seen them, can appreciate them, and the ones that people have in their collection or in museums or whatever. Everybody that preserves a piece of history, I think it adds something that something of value to people that appreciate motorcycling. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.